I've been a math teacher for about 15 years now. My first math teaching job was in the Bay Area in San Francisco. It was kind of crazy. Like when I graduated with a math degree from university, I didn't really think I was going to go and teach math. And what I wanted to do was save the world and work on environmental issues. And so that's what I did for a couple of years. I worked a little bit for a nonprofit in North Carolina, and then I went to Montana and worked with kids in the outdoors. And somewhere in there I thought, I should probably get a real job. And I sent out my resume to a bunch of different schools. Here's the funny thing. I didn't really decide to study math initially. So when I first went to university, the first thing I studied was physics. And I was very into physics, and I kind of went down that track for a little while. And then I became very interested in history, because when you go to university in the United States, you have to take courses within all the disciplines and complete your general education requirements, right? And one of my courses was a history course, and my professor, Dr. Jim Winders, was this amazing guy. He was super charismatic he was just passionate about what he was teaching, and he also gave room for students to have a voice. He always invited us to share our opinions and to speak out. Eventually, I veered from history into philosophy. Somewhere when I was in the middle of taking those philosophy classes, I started thinking about math again, because math is this amazing sort of abstract conceptualization of the universe, right? The numbers really exist, right? They do this amazing job describing the world, right? But it is amazing how these inventions, maybe of the human mind, called numbers, actually do a good job reflecting the real world. So how is that possible? And so that intersection between philosophy and mathematics kind of brought me back to math. The bike ride, as you both know, was quite an epic journey for me. One of my favorite parts of that is really just how that journey began. I like to share that with students because I think it's a reminder to students that really, if you conceive of something and you imagine something and you're excited about something, there's no reason for you not to pursue it. Before I started the ride, I was working in Washington, D.C., and I was at a bar one day, and I heard somebody talking about riding across the country. I loved my job, but I was really susceptible when I heard that guy say that. And I just turned around and I said, "What did you just say?" He said, "Yeah, my friends rode their bike across the country on trails." I'm like, that is amazing. I couldn't believe it. And that little idea just got in my head, and I just decided over the course of a week or so that I was going to do that. And I quit my job, and I bought a bicycle, and got on my bike and started riding. It was as simple as that. And that experience, the experience of riding from Washington, D.C. all the way to Santa Barbara, was one of the best things I've ever done. The bike ride took exactly 3 months from the day I left D.C. Sometimes there'd be a huge amount of cheerleading. I went through some little town and somebody was so excited to encounter somebody doing this journey. And then sometimes when there was just nobody on top of a mountain in Utah, cold and wet and not knowing where I was going to sleep. It's important to know that you have support systems. And it's important also to kind of embark on your own on some adventure. At some point, you're going to be on your own with that thing.